If I had promised you a miracle show tonight, this room would be full and the parking lot would be a war zone. But the king didn't send me to entertain crowds. He sent me to train leaders. My real love is people like you who believe, somewhere under the noise of culture, that you were born for more than applause. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. And assignments do not chase validation. They deliver value. Write this down. Leadership begins when you stop chasing validation and start serving undeniable value. Here is the contrarian premise that will offend your addiction to attention. Leaders don't seek followers. Followers are attracted to leaders, not by noise, by fruit. Proverbs 18:16 says, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Not your selfie, your gift. Not your hashtag, your fruit. Say it with me. I am not a megaphone. I am a magnet. Louder. I am not a megaphone. I am a magnet. Why? A megaphone makes noise to get attention. A magnet quietly pulls because it carries substance. Write this down. Crowds respond to sound. People of destiny respond to substance. Jesus did not trust crowds. Read your Bible. In John 6:26, he said, you seek me not because you saw the signs, but because you ate of the loaves and were filled. They followed bread, not purpose. That's why in Mark 1:37-38, when they said, everyone is looking for you, he replied, let us go somewhere else, for that is why I have come. He refused to be trapped by applause. He kept moving in assignment. Write this down. Attention is not allegiance. Value creates voluntary pursuit. Matthew 7:16 says, by their fruits you shall know them, not by their flyers, not by their noise. Fruit is proof, and proof is the magnet. Let me expose a lie you have been living under. You think visibility is leadership. So you chase platforms, microphones, titles, and followers. You brand what you haven't built. You announce what you can't deliver. And then you wonder why nothing sticks. Because heaven will never endorse what you did to be seen. Heaven only breathes on what you do to serve. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Write that down. What needs to end first? Your toleration for your own insecurity. Your agreement with the algorithm as your God. Your worship of attention as your oxygen. The kingdom does not run on applause. It runs on assignment. Jesus cursed a fig tree for having leaves without fruit, noise without proof, presentation without production. That is a picture of a generation that confuses marketing with mastery. God is not impressed with your leaves. He's looking for figs. Say it with me. Proof, not publicity. Fruit, not fireworks. Your gift was not given to make you famous. It was given to make you useful. When you become useful on purpose, influence finds you on schedule. Ask the farmer. He doesn't chase buyers through the market screaming, pick me. He cultivates the orchard, stacks the boxes, and opens the gate. The fragrance of fruit does the advertising. Here is kingdom logic. Value creates voluntary pursuit. When a surgeon is excellent, people fly across oceans to find them. When a mechanic is trustworthy, your cousin drives past 5 shops to get to his garage. When a teacher changes lives, parents fight for a seat in that class. They didn't chase. They served their gift into undeniable usefulness, and pursuit became predictable. Write this down. Pursuit is the harvest of served value. This is why some of you are exhausted. You're trying to sell what you haven't grown. Stop selling. Start sowing. Stop performing. Start producing. I'm going to press you because I love you. Your problem is not that you are unknown. Your problem is that your gift is unemployed. The world hasn't rejected you. It simply hasn't met your fruit. The book says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father. Matthew 5:16. Not hear your loud works. See your good works. The light is the work. The shine is the standard. When they see it, they move. You don't drag them, they come. Say it with me. I serve and they search. Again, I serve and they search. This is why I tell you, don't measure leadership by the size of your audience. Measure it by the weight of your evidence. Who got healed because you served your gift? Who solved the problem because you delivered your value? Whose burden became light because you applied what God placed in you? Write this down. Leadership is not position. It is permission granted by those who taste your fruit and come back for more. I prophesy with practicality tonight. The moment you stop chasing, your energy will return. The moment you stop performing, your focus will sharpen. The moment you decide, I will be a magnet of value, the right people will begin to surface like iron filings drawn to a field. They are already assigned to you. They are waiting for your fruit to ripen. This is why this is a room for the chosen few. Different rules, different results. We don't beg to be seen. We build to be sought. We don't hustle for likes. We harvest with proof. So let us make a covenant with our mouths right now. Say it with me. I am not a megaphone. I am a magnet. My gift is my signal. My fruit is my proof. My service is my strategy. Write this down and etch it in your habits before you sleep. Attention is not allegiance. Value creates voluntary pursuit. If you honor that law, you won't have to look for them. They will find you. And when they do, they won't be fans. They will be followers of fruit, willing, consistent, and loyal, because value arrests the will and converts attention into allegiance. Welcome to leadership. Stop chasing. Start serving. The magnet is about to turn on. Now, before we design platforms and prune schedules, we must go back to the factory settings. Identity first. Write this down. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Your birth certificate did not start your purpose. It only announced your entrance into a purpose that predated you. Then God said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion. Genesis 1:26. Read it slow. Image, likeness, dominion. That is the blueprint. God never said, let us make leaders. He said, let them have dominion. Leadership is not a title you chase. It is the natural expression of image discovered and deployed. Man, there is not male. It is the species, Hebrew Adam, the spirit class that carries God's image, expressed as male and female. Genesis 1:27. He blessed them and said to them, be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, and subdue it, have dominion. Genesis 1:28. He did not say, be busy. He did not say, be famous. He said, be fruitful. Write this down. Fruitfulness is the proof of image. Dominion is the assignment of image. Leadership emerges where image produces fruit in a specific domain. And the Hebrew word for dominion, radah, means to rule, to manage, to govern over fish, birds, creeping things, the works of his hands, but never over people. Dominance is not dominion. Your leadership is not over me, it is over your domain. Say it with me. I was created to lead and designed to dominate in my domain. Louder. I was created to lead and designed to dominate in my domain. If you need a title to feel significant, you have not met yourself yet. You will never become a true leader until you are introduced to yourself. And the self you must meet is not your history or your habits. It is the image and likeness that God encoded in your spirit. The psalmist caught it. What is man that you are mindful of him? You have crowned him with glory and honor. You made him to have dominion over the works of your hands. Psalm 8-4-6. Crowned first, commissioned next. Identity precedes assignment. Assignment produces leadership. Let me give you the seed law. Genesis 1:11 says, every seed produces after its kind. A seed is a tree in hiding. The only difference between the oak and the acorn is exposure to the correct environment and consistent cultivation over time. Heaven never sends trees, it sends seeds. Why? So that only the committed discover the treasure. Write this down. Your gift is leadership in seed form. If you demand a forest today, you will despise your seed. If you honor the seed, you will schedule the forest. This is why I told you not to chase followers. A seed does not chase birds. It surrenders to soil, welcomes pressure, survives darkness, breaks its shell, and pushes until fruit appears. Then everything with appetite comes looking. The image in you is the manufacturer's code. When a manufacturer puts their image on a product, it means the product carries their nature and standard. Image, Hebrew, and likeness are not decorative words. They mean essence and function, capacity to think, speak, create, envision, and govern. That's why when God brought animals to Adam, he named them. Genesis 2:19. Naming is leadership. It is definition. It is governance of meaning. Write this down. True leadership is self-discovery, not people management. You do not manage people into destiny. You discover design, govern your domain, and fruit attracts those assigned to your garden. Let me confront a lie that has been discipling you. You think leadership is an upgrade you download when you have enough experience. No. Leadership is original equipment. It came pre-installed. Religion told you to pray for it. Education told you to qualify for it. Culture told you to audition for it. The king says, it is in my image. Discover it. Stop asking God to make you a leader. Ask him to reveal the seed he already placed in you and the soil it demands. Say it with me. I am not an accident. I am an assignment. Again, I am not an accident. I am an assignment. Listen carefully. The seed does not become fruit by excitement. It becomes fruit by process. The process is not glamorous. Soil is dirty. Nights are long. Shells must break. But the breaking is not punishment. It is promotion. Some of you are resenting the very pressure designed to release your image. Seeds don't clap, they crack. Write this down. Cracking is the sound of leadership emerging. When comfort breaks, capacity breathes. When fantasy breaks, focus forms. When excuses break, excellence is born. Now, identity always defines domain. Dominion shares the root with domain. You are not called to dominate everywhere. You are called to dominate somewhere. That somewhere is the environment where your gift solves problems naturally and consistently. If you are struggling to find followers, it might be because you are sowing tomato seeds in concrete. Wrong environment. The right soil for your seed is the problem your gift was designed to solve. Proverbs 18:16 already told you. A man's gift makes room for him. Not your name, your gift. Not your network, your gift. When the gift is cultivated into fruit, room appears like a door that recognizes its own key. Consider this simple parable. A farmer stored a bag of seeds on a shelf and bragged about owning an orchard. Seasons passed. No plows, no furrows, no water. He died with a full bag. His children wept over potential that never met process. Don't let that be your biography. Don't die loaded. Leadership is not what they call you after you die. It is what your fruit forces them to confess while you are alive. Say it with me. Be fruitful. Now, louder. Be fruitful. That's the first command to humans, not a suggestion. God never commanded fame. He commanded fruit. I must warn you, the enemy of your leadership is not the devil. It is ignorance of your image. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. If your belief system says you are a follower, your life will accommodate that lie. That's why I labor this point. You must see yourself through Genesis before you see yourself through Instagram. Write this down. Whoever names you owns you. Let the manufacturer name you. Image, likeness, dominion. That is your name. Wear it until your habits submit. So, what do we learn? Leadership is in you like a seed. The image is your DNA. The gift is your seed coat. The domain is your soil. Fruit is your proof. And dominion is the inevitable harvest when image meets process. Say it again. With conviction. I was created to lead and designed to dominate in my domain. And write this final line in your heart before we move forward. True leadership is self-discovery, not people management. When you meet the you God imagined, you will stop chasing people and start cultivating fruit. Then, by law, they will come. Before we design ladders and polish platforms, we must locate the switch that turns the magnet on. It is not out there, it is in here. Write this down. Leadership is 80% mentality and 20% skill. Skill is the tool. Mentality is the hand that wields it. Belief dictates behavior. Behavior produces fruit, and fruit attracts pursuit. Some of you are frustrated because you are rearranging methods while your mind remains misaligned. You are oiling the hinges on a locked door. The key is your belief system. The book says, "For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he." Proverbs 23:7. Not as he thinks in his head, but in his heart, his subconscious, his autopilot, his operating system. That heart is your magnet setting. If the heart is set to fear, you will repel the very people you are meant to serve. If the heart is set to dominion, you will pull them like steel to a field. Let me work this slowly. In Scripture, the heart is not the pump in your chest. It is the production center of your life. Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Proverbs 4:23. Out of it, not into it. Life moves from the inside. Write this down. Methods without mentality produce motion without magnetism. You can be busy all day, posts, pitches, performances, and yet no one is drawn. Why? Because the heart is whispering a different story than your mouth is shouting. You are presenting leaves and hiding roots. Your website says confidence. Your belief says counterfeit. Your smile says leader. Your subconscious says imposter. The market is not listening to your captions. It is smelling your confidence. Fruit has a fragrance. Consider the lion and the elephant. I love that class. The elephant is heavier, stronger, taller, massive. The lion is smaller, lighter, not as strong. Yet when the lion sees the elephant, his belief system speaks first. Your eyes say, "That's a giant." Your belief says, "That's lunch." The elephant sees the same lion, and his belief system screams, "Predator, run!" What changed? Not the sizes, the attitude. The lion's mentality converts size into strategy. The elephant's mentality converts strength into surrender. Say it with me. The difference is belief. Again, the difference is belief. Write this down. Your attitude is more powerful than your environment. When your belief system carries leadership identity, you stop measuring giants and start planning meals. You don't chase elephants, you serve what you carry, and elephants volunteer. Transformation begins where confirmation ends. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. Renewing is a construction term. It means you must strip out old walls, tear up warped floors, and replace systems that cannot bear the weight of your assignment. That is why some of you complain that nothing is working. You are piling new furniture methods into an old house mentality. Then the floor caves in under consistency. Say it with me. My mind is my magnet. My belief system sets my attraction power. Louder. My mind is my magnet. My belief system sets my attraction power. Until the belief system aligns with leadership identity, no method will make you magnetic. You can attend every seminar, memorize every funnel, and mimic every influencer's sequence. But if you believe you are a beggar, your offer will smell like begging. If you believe you are an assignment, your offer will feel like deliverance. People can sense whether you are trying to get something from them or give something to them. Write this down. Belief leaks through tone, timing, and touch. You cannot fake fruit. And you cannot maintain a performance that contradicts your philosophy. That is why Jesus said, a good man out of the good treasure of the heart brings forth good things. Matthew 12:35. Bring forth means pull out of storage. Your life is the storefront of your inner inventory. If self-doubt is the stock, scarcity is the sale. How do we reset the magnet? First, identity. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Genesis 1:26 is still legal. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion. Dominion is not domination of people. It is rulership in your domain, your gift territory. Write this down. Belief must be sourced from revelation, not from results. Results will fluctuate. Revelation is fixed. You don't believe you are a leader because people follow you. People follow you because you believe what God revealed about you. Second, meditation. Feed your heart the diet of destiny. Philippians 4:8 tells you what to think on. Put your mind on a disciplined plan. Replace the inner monologue of failure with decrees of function. Third, confession. The mouth is the pen that writes on the heart. Speak the truth until your subconscious surrenders. Permit me a testimony. I used to sleep on the floor with roaches and rats introducing themselves at midnight. No platform, no microphone. But I learned this law. I could not rise above the picture I carried of myself. So I went to war with my inner image. The day my belief changed, my behavior changed. The day my behavior changed, my fruit appeared. The day my fruit appeared, people started to find me. Not because I chased them, but because I became useful at a standard that silence could not hide. Write this down. When belief shifts, gravity shifts. Doors that were shut become automatic. They open when you carry the signal. So before we talk about maps, methods, and models, we must calibrate the magnet. Say it with me one more time. My mind is my magnet. My belief system sets my attraction power. Say this also. Methods without mentality produce motion without magnetism. And now, decree this by faith. As I think in my heart, so will my fruit be. I align my belief with my assignment. I am not a megaphone. I am a magnet. When the heart is right, the harvest is predictable. When the belief is true, the followers appear on schedule. Adjust the inside and the outside will obey. Now that the magnet is set in your heart, we must locate what the magnet was built to pull. This is where discovery begins. Write this down. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Your job is a role in someone else's vision. Your work is the reason you were conceived. Your job can change 10 times in a decade. Your work is forever. That's why Jesus could say, I have finished the work which you gave me to do, John 17:4. Though he never held an employment contract. He didn't have a job description from Rome, but he had a work assignment from the Father. Hear me. You can retire from your job. You cannot retire from your work. Employment is when people use your time. Deployment is when you serve your gift. Say it with me. I am deployed, not merely employed. Louder. I am deployed, not merely employed. If they fire you, your gift goes with you. They can take the desk, but not the design. They can cancel the payroll, but not the purpose. Do you understand? This is why titles comfort the insecure. Function secures the called. Write this down. You were not born to look for work. You were born to release work. The creation is groaning, waiting for the manifestation of what God hid in you. Romans 8:19. Your gift is God's answer to a question in your generation. How do you locate it? Let me put a lamp on your path. 3 questions. Ask them soberly. Write your answers. And ask those who love you to confirm or confront what you write. Question 1. What do you do effortlessly that others find difficult? Not what you're lazy about. Effortless is not careless. It's natural. It flows like water in your hands. Some of you organize chaos without thinking. Some translate complexity into simple pictures. Some heal with words. Some solve numbers as if they sing. That ease is a clue. Grace is the oil on your gears. Romans 12:6 says, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, let us use them. If it's constantly hard, it might not be yours. If it's consistently natural, that's your current. Question 2, what problem angers you righteously, not petty irritation? I'm talking about the burden that won't let you sleep because you know it should not be this way. Nehemiah heard the walls were broken down and sat and wept, then rose to build Nehemiah 1:2. Anger at dysfunction is often the alarm clock of your assignment. Write this down. Whatever you are willing to live with, you are not called to change. Leadership is born when toleration ends. If you can walk past it for years without pain, it's not your jurisdiction. If it provokes you to prayer, plans, and pursuit, it might be your lane. Question 3. What do people constantly seek from you without you advertising it? Pay attention to the recurring requests. Can you look at this and tell me what's wrong? Would you speak to my son? He listens to you. Could you help me make a plan? Can you design this? You have an eye. That importunity is the market sniffing your fruit before you have an orchard. Proverbs 18:16 already told you a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. It doesn't say your resume. It says your gift. The door recognizes what it was built to welcome. Write this down. Your gift is the solution God hid in you for a specific dysfunction in the world. 1 Peter 4:10 says, as each has received a gift, minister it to one another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. You are a steward, not an owner. The gift is not for your ego. It is for our edification. This is why chasing followers is a waste. The world is not waiting for your slogan. It is waiting for its solution. When the solution shows up consistently, people pursue it without being begged. Fruit is magnetic. Let me tell you a simple story. A young woman worked as a receptionist at a clinic, answering phones, filing papers, checking insurance. She was faithful but bored. One day a frightened mother came in with a child who wouldn't stop crying. The nurses were busy. The young woman stepped from behind the desk, knelt, and began to hum and tell the child a story while guiding the mother in breathing. Within minutes, the child calmed. The mother returned a week later and asked for the lady who made fear disappear. Soon, patients started requesting her not for paperwork, but for peace. She discovered that her work was not reception. It was translating fear into order. She studied, refined, and began a practice in trauma-informed care. Today, physicians refer patients to her. What happened? She was fired from boredom and deployed into function. Say it with me. I am not looking for a position. I am locating my function. You must get this. Titles are labels. Function is leadership. Moses did not apply for deliverer. The problem drafted him. David was anointed in private. Goliath advertised his work in public. Jesus didn't print business cards. He solved what he found. Blind eyes, broken hearts, bound lives, and fruit insisted on following. Write this down. The clearer your function, the simpler your decisions. When you know what you are, you know what to say no to. Identity filters opportunities. Function focuses energy. Activity without assignment is the fastest route to burnout. Some of you think, but I need my job. Keep it. Be excellent. But don't confuse it with your work. Use employment to finance deployment. Use the desk to fund the development of your gift. The Apostle Paul made tents so the gospel could travel. The job is a bridge. Your work is the destination. If the bridge disappears, you still know where you are going. That's why I can tell you with boldness, if they fire you, your gift goes with you. God did not bury your gift in a building. He put it in you. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you. Jeremiah 1-5. New means measured. Sanctified means set apart for specific use. Use matters more than title. Let me give you a small exercise for the next 3 days. Pay attention to compliments you resist and requests you receive. List moments when you lost track of time because you were in flow. Note the injustices that make you pace the room. Ask 3 trusted people, what comes to you when you think of me solving a problem? Don't argue, just record. Patterns will speak. The whisper you've been ignoring will become a sentence. And when that sentence is clear, serve it. Don't announce it. Serve it, don't post it. Prove it. Say it again until your heart hears it. I am not looking for a position. I am locating my function. Louder. I am not looking for a position. I am locating my function. Because leadership becomes visible the moment your function starts feeding people. That is when belief turns into fruit. That is when the magnet field intensifies. That is when the right ones begin to find you without you wandering halls asking for a desk. Write this down. Visibility is the byproduct of valuable service in your design function. Locate the gift. Name the problem it solves. Begin to serve it on purpose. And watch as employment bows to deployment and titles bow to fruit. Now that you have located your function and stopped begging for titles, we must build an architecture that turns grace into predictable outcomes. Write this down. Vision must be made plain and systems must be made simple. Write the vision and make it plain, that he may run who reads it. Habakkuk 2:2. God does not bless confusion. Let all things be done decently and in order. 1 Corinthians 14:40. Order is the womb of fruitfulness. Structure does not replace the anointing. It harnesses it. A river without banks becomes a swamp. Your gift is the water. The value ladder is the banks. When banks appear, water gains direction and power. Here is the map from seed to fruit. Seed, your insight, your revealed assignment in one sentence that solves the real problem. Sprout, consistent, free service that proves you care and that your gift works. Sam, your signature framework, 3 to 5 steps anyone can follow. Branches, your offerteers that ascend from access to depth, community, workshop, coaching, done with you, done for you. Fruit, documented results, case studies, transformations that speak without you shouting. Write this down. Fruit is proof. Structure makes fruit repeatable. God said, while the earth remains, seed time and harvest shall not cease. Genesis 8:22. That is a cycle, a system. Leaders don't chase. They design for harvest. Let me begin with the seed. The seed is your distilled thesis. The problem you were born to solve expressed so clearly that a child could repeat it. If you cannot say it simply, you cannot scale it. Jesus said, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. Luke 4:18. That is a seed statement with a target and an outcome. What is yours? I turn chaotic teams into clear systems in 30 days. I help anxious teens master calm, concentration, and courage. I make healthy food simple for busy parents. Write this down. A muddy seed produces a confused harvest. Clarity is compassionate. Now to the sprout. A sprout looks fragile, but it is stubborn. It proves the seed is alive. Your sprout is consistent free service. Not random posts and selfies. Consistent, scheduled, useful demonstrations. Pick a day. Pick a format. Show up. Weekly clinic. Monday breakdown. Friday framework. 30 minutes of real help. James says, faith without works is dead. James 2:17. Your sprout is faith made visible. It teaches the market your rhythm and trains your heart to serve without applause. Consistency is credibility. Write this down. The sprout is not marketing. It is ministry. It feeds those who are hungry and reveals that you have food. But sprouts cannot carry weight. You need a stem. The stem is your signature framework. Name it. Say it with me. Name your signature. Convert your gift into a 3 to 5 step path people can follow. If it cannot be taught, it cannot be transferred. If it cannot be transferred, it cannot multiply. Moses was told, see that you make them after the pattern shown you on the mountain. Exodus 25-40. God thinks in patterns. What is yours? For example, see, sort, solve, scale. See the real problem with diagnostic questions. Sort priorities into a simple plan. Solve it a 1-4-day sprint. Scale the result into a habit. Or calm, clarify, coach, commit, calm the chaos, clarify one objective, coach execution, commit to review. Write this down. Name your steps. Define the tools at each step. And assign a time window. Ambiguity is the enemy of excellence. Once the stem is strong, branches appear. Branches are offerteers that carry fruit to different distances. Price follows proof. Say it out loud. Price follows proof. Start with access. Ascend to depth. Your first branch can be a community, low-cost access to your frameworks, Q&A, accountability. Next, a workshop, 1 to 2 days of intensive application of your signature steps. Next, group coaching, 8 to 12 weeks, guided through the framework with checkpoints and feedback. Then, done with you, rolling up sleeves to build alongside them according to your pattern. Finally, done for you. You and your team deliver the outcome for them with your stamp of excellence. Write this down. Depth determines price. Outcome determines value. Don't sell time. Serve transformation. People do not buy hours. They buy results. Do not confuse branches with noise. Say it with me. I will not sell noise. I will serve structure that produces fruit. Loud does not equal useful. Fruit is quiet until you bite it. Your tears must be clean, not clutter. A ladder, not a maze. Each level should answer one question. How do I take them one step deeper into the result my seed promised? The community gives access. The workshop gives experience. Coaching gives accountability. Done with you gives partnership. Done for you gives transfer of excellence. And at every level, keep the stem visible. The pattern must be the spine. Now, to fruit. Fruit is not a feeling, it is evidence. Jesus said, by this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit. John 15:8, documented. Before and after metrics. Testimonials that state the problem, the process, and the proof. Screenshots with permission. Case studies with numbers and narratives. Don't just say it worked, show how it worked using your named steps. Write this down. Proof is the magnet. When outcomes are visible and repeatable, people pursue you because they can predict their harvest by your pattern. And hear me, no fruit, no branch growth. Prune offers that don't produce outcomes. Farmers cut dead wood. Let me give you a story. A choir teacher named Aisha loved helping children who tripped over words. Her seed was simple. I turned reading fear into reading flow. She sprouted with a weekly 15-minute live called 3 Sounds in 3 Minutes. No fluff. Just one drill parents could use that night. She named her STEM, the 4F, reading path, feel, fix, flow, flourish, feel, assess where the child stumbles, fix, target one phonetic gap, flow, time practice with laughter, flourish, celebrate, and stack the win. Branches appeared. First, a $19 a month parent community with printable drills. Then a $97 workshop, fix one gap in 1 day. Then a $699 8-week group coaching where she walked families through 4F schools began to call. She launched a Done With You teacher training. Then a Done For You literacy lab where her team implemented the system. Price followed proof. Parents posted videos of kids reading bedtime stories for the first time. Principals bragged about a 23% lift in fluency in 1 term. Aisha never begged for followers. Fruit found her. What did she do? She honored the seed with structure. She built a stem, not just branches. She priced by depth, not by insecurity. She documented outcomes so fruit could recruit for her. That is architecture. That is dominion with design. Write this down. The market buys outcomes, not ideas. And heaven funds patterns, not performances. By wisdom, a house is built, and by understanding, it is established. By knowledge, the rooms are filled. Proverbs 24:3-4. Your value ladder is that house. Wisdom defines the steps. Understanding orders the offers. Knowledge fills the rooms with testimonies. So here is your assignment before we move on. Distill your seed into one sentence that names a problem and a promised result. Commit to a sprout schedule, same day, same time, same gift, every week for the next 12 weeks. Name your STEM, a 3 to 5 step framework with simple names that a teenager can remember. Sketch your branches, one access offer, one experience offer, one accountability offer, and describe the deeper outcomes they guarantee. Decide the depth and then determine the price. Do not reverse that. Price follows proof. Finally, create a 1-page fruit journal where you record every outcome and testimony with dates, names, and numbers. Say it with me. I will not sell noise. I will serve structure that produces fruit. Louder. I will not sell noise. I will serve structure that produces fruit. When the pattern is clear and the process is consistent, your seed becomes a tree, your tree bears fruit, and your fruit becomes the voice that calls your generation to your garden. Now that you have located the gift and begun to serve it, you must show the fruit. Notice, I didn't say show yourself, show the fruit. Jesus said, by their fruits you shall know them. And again, by their fruits you shall know them. Matthew 7:16-20. The king ties recognition to results, not to rhetoric. Herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit, John 15:8. Write this down. Visibility is not volume. It is verification. Proof is the magnet. When fruit is visible, pursuit is natural. When noise is loud and baskets are empty, People pass by. The world is not hungry for announcements. It is hungry for outcomes. Say it with me. I don't advertise. I evidence. Louder. I don't advertise. I evidence. Choose your orchard, not 10. One primary platform for depth and one for discovery. Depth is long form, the place where your gift can breathe. A weekly podcast, a YouTube teaching, a live workshop, a well-argued article or newsletter. Discovery is short form, the doorway clips and snapshots that introduce strangers to your orchard. 6-0, second reels, carousels, concise posts, short videos. Write this down. Own one room. Visit the hallways. Depth disciples. Discovery introduces. Your long form proves you can feed a table. Your short form lets the aroma into the street. Stop spraying content like perfume in the air. Plant trees and set tables. The goal is not to be seen doing something. It is to be sought because something is working. Minimum viable fruit. Before you build a brand kit, build a proof kit. Case studies. Before and after snapshots. Testimonials. Numbers that matter. Time saved. Revenue increased. Peace restored. Processes simplified. If I do not the works of my Father, believe me not. But if I do, though you do not believe me, believe the works. John 10:37-38. Even Jesus told them to examine evidence. Proverbs 27:2 counsels. Let another praise you and not your own mouth. So collect the voices of those you have served. Ask for specific outcomes and permission to share. Show screenshots. Show timelines. Show drafts before and the final after. Show the broken system you met and the working system you left. Write this down. Don't advertise emptiness. Exhibit outcomes. Evidence silences arguments. Proof pulls people. Noise pushes them away. Products that serve. Not trinkets, tools, templates, checklists, frameworks. Stories that teach by result, not by hype. Package your process so a stranger can taste your fruit without hiring you yet. That is not cannibalizing your service. It is cultivating demand. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain that he may run who reads it. Make it runnable. A one-page roadmap, a diagnostic quiz, a 7-step sequence you actually use, a before you begin checklist that prevents common mistakes, a mini case book of 3 problems and the paths you use to solve them. Tell the story like Luke 7:22. Go and tell what you have seen and heard. Blind eyes see, lame walk, dead plans implemented, teams aligned. Don't just say we empower. Show the lift. Now schedule your showing. Depth once a week. Discovery daily from the depths you produce. Clip your long form into bite-sized demonstrations. One orchard, many baskets. Label them with outcomes, not opinions. How we cut onboarding time from 14 days to 3. From panic to plan in 72 hours. A rehearsal template that ended chaos. Write this down. Title the transformation, not the talk. And keep receipts. A public portfolio, simple, clean, fruit forward. No glitter, just gardens. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:16. See what? Good works, not good wishes, not good words, good works. Say it with me. Proof is my promotion. Louder. Proof is my promotion. I must warn you. Platforms without proof breed pride and poverty. Don't buy followers. Bake bread. Don't chase virality. Choose verifiability. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Psalm 34:8. Taste precedes trust. Make your work tasteable. Free sample the real thing. When they taste and results follow, trust becomes pursuit. Now answer me. Who's the leader? The one with visible fruit. Again, who's the leader? The one with visible fruit. Because in the kingdom economy, leaders don't seek followers, fruit seeks them. Write this down. Show, don't shout. Exhibit, don't exaggerate. Prove, don't perform. If you steward one orchard with excellence and keep placing ripe baskets where hungry people can see and sample, you will not need to wave them down. They will track the fragrance to your field and the magnet will do its work. We have built a tree now planted in a forest. Fruit is not for private tasting. It is for distribution. Systems are the orchards of destiny, interlocking roots, shared soil, winds that carry seed farther than one tree could dream. Write this down. Vision demands an ecosystem. A ladder without a wall to lean on is just furniture. You must connect your pattern to partners, peers, and platforms so that your gift can travel without you chasing it. This is where leadership gets mature. Not loud, mature. Let me give you a picture you will never forget. I opened the hood of a limousine. Chrome, polished, powerful engine, 8 cylinders gleaming, thick belts, fresh oil, new battery. The chauffeur puts the key in. Nothing. We discover one frayed wire on a $4 terminal. The entire vehicle is held hostage by the cheapest part. I ask you a question. Who's the leader? The engine, the battery, the key. The chauffeur? No one. And everyone. Leadership is functional. Every part leads in its function. A $4 wire can shut the car down. Write this down. Importance is contextual. Lead faithfully where your gift functions best. When it's time to ignite, the wire is king. When it's time to move, the tire is king. When it's time to stop, the brake is king. Don't lust for another man's moment. Own yours. The scripture already taught us this law. The body is not one member, but many. The eye cannot say to the hand, I don't need you. Nor again the head to the feet, I don't need you. 1 Corinthians 12:14. Ashii. And then Paul delivers the systems thesis. From whom the whole body, joined and knit together by what every joint supplies, according to the effective working by which every part does its share, causes growth. Ephesians 4:16. Write this down. Growth is a systems product, not a celebrity product, not a noise product, a systems product. Every joint supplies, every part does its share, then increase becomes inevitable. Vision is more important than leadership. Without a clear picture of where we are going, parts compete. With vision, parts complete. Where there is no vision, the people cast off restraint. Proverbs 29:18. Restraint is alignment. Vision gives lanes. Lanes prevent collisions. So in your ecosystem, begin with a God-given vision statement for your domain. Then identify the gifts that must interlock to take it there. Say it with me. My vision defines my system. My system distributes my gift. How do you build this in the real world? Start with mapping. List every step from promise to proof in your value ladder and ask, which gift executes this step best? Not who is available, who is anointed for it. For content, you may partner with an editor whose gift is clarity. For delivery, a project manager whose gift is order. For finance, a steward whose gift is numbers. For distribution, a relationship builder whose gift is doors. For legal, a counselor whose gift is covering for measurement. An analyst whose gift is truth without emotions. Then draw lines what must pass to whom, by when, and in what standard. Write this down. Build joints, not jams. Joints move, jams choke. Now, codify collaboration. Set weekly rhythms. A 1-hour stand-up where each gift reports fruit, friction, and forecasts. Agree on a common scoreboard, 3 to 5 metrics per branch that prove outcomes. Draft simple service level agreements inside your team. This is what on time means. This is what excellent looks like. This is how we hand off. Amos asks, can 2 walk together except they be agreed? Amos 3 to 3. Agreement is not hugs. It is standards. Say it with me. Excellence is our language. Standards are our covenant. Let me show you the $4 wire in action. A brother named Daniel built a brilliant coaching framework. Clients loved the sessions, but renewals lagged. He blamed marketing. The real issue? No handoff protocol. From coaching to proof collection. One admin, quiet, diligent, created a 2-email, 1-form, 7-day proof pipeline. Before, after metrics captured, testimonials requested with a template, case studies filed with tags. Within 1 quarter, renewals leaped 28%. Who was the leader? in that moment? No one. And everyone. The admin led with process. The coach led with presence. The clients led with participation. The system grew because each did their share. Beware of jealousy. Jealousy is proof you forgot your domain. The ear cannot envy the eye's applause while hearing the danger that sight misses. Write this down. Honor is the oil of systems. Celebrate distinctions. Protect overlaps. Clarify boundaries. And hear me, never be ashamed to be the wire. When ignition happens, God credits the whole car. He who receives a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. Matthew 10:41. Some rewards are system-wide dividends. We also see this in the tabernacle. God did not ask Moses to hammer gold. He filled Bezalel with the Spirit in wisdom, understanding, and knowledge to design artistic works. Exodus 31:1-5. Moses cast vision. Artisans executed pattern. Levites carried pieces. The cloud endorsed the system. Who's the leader? No one. And everyone. In Acts 6, the apostles said, "It is not desirable that we should leave the word of God and serve tables." They appointed men full of the Holy Spirit to logistics so the word could run and widows could be fed. That is, distributed leadership assigned gifts to needs, not egos to titles. Write this down. Protect your system from two enemies: Lone Ranger pride and crowd-pleasing confusion. Pride says, I can do it all. Confusion says, anyone can do anything. Both kill fruit. Appoint by grace, align by vision, assess by outcomes. And when a part fails, fix it without assassination. Replace wires, not engines. When the diagnosis is small, your future depends on healthy joints. Say it with me. I lead by function. I honor the system. I am a joint that supplies. Again, with conviction. Importance is contextual. I will lead faithfully where my gift functions best. When you serve your part with excellence, you power the whole. And when the whole moves as one, fruit multiplies on schedule. You won't have to chase it. The system will carry it farther, faster, and with a fragrance that draws the right ones home. We have a system. Now we must set its temperature. Excellence is not decoration. It is atmosphere. It is the oxygen your gift breathes and the fragrance your fruit releases. Write this down. Excellence and consistency do your advertising for you. Standards turn service into signal. Then this Daniel distinguished himself above the governors and satraps because an excellent spirit was in him. Daniel 6:3. Not a famous spirit, an excellent spirit. And Paul commands, whatever you do, do it heartily as unto the Lord. Colossians 3:23. That is a quality covenant. Leaders don't seek followers. They keep covenants with their gift. Let me define your quality covenant non-negotiables you sign with yourself before anyone signs with you. 1. Clarity. Every promise must be stated simply what will be delivered, by whom, by when, and by what standard. Let your yes be yes and your no, no. Matthew 5:37. Ambiguity is a thief. It steals trust. 2. Timeliness. On time is early. Write this down. Late is unloving. If you value people, you will value their time. 3. Precision. Deliver to spec, not to mood. Let all things be done decently and in order. 1 Corinthians 14:40. Define decently. What file type? What format? What agenda? What outcome? Make a checklist. 4. Follow-up. Service is not over when you finish talking. It is over when you confirm, transfer, capture proof, and schedule the next improvement. Paul planted, Apollos watered, somebody followed up. 1 Corinthians 3-6. Say it with me. My quality is my covenant. Now, consistency. Excellence without rhythm is a one-song concert. You must appoint public rituals and private disciplines. Public rituals are your covenant with the market. The same day, the same hour, the same gift every week. Jesus went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day, as was his custom, Luke 4:16. Custom creates credibility. So choose a weekly teaching, Wednesdays at 7 p.m., 30 minutes from your signature framework. A monthly workshop, first Saturday, 2 hours of hands-on practice. A quarterly intensive second week of the quarter, deep dive to produce an auditable outcome. Then let discovery flow daily from these depths. Clips from your weekly, excerpts from your workshop, results from your intensive. Write this down. Depth produces discovery. Discovery schedules depth. Consistency is your metronome. When your rhythm is reliable, your signal is recognizable. Private disciplines are your covenant with your craft. Study, rehearsal, review, study. Block sacred time to sharpen your thought. If the iron is blunt and one does not sharpen the edge, he must use more strength. But wisdom helps to succeed. Ecclesiastes 10:10. Rehearsal. Practice delivery until it flows like water. Lions look effortless because they rehearse the pounce. Review. After every delivery, conduct a 3-question debrief. What worked? What was weak? What will we change? Record it within 24 hours. Luke 16:10 teaches, he who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much. Small adjustments compound into great reputations. Excellence is not an event. It is an audit you refuse to skip. Now, here's the secret of small rooms. Write this down. Depth beats width. Transformation beats traffic. For who has despised the day of small things? Zechariah 4:10. Jesus did not build a stadium. He built 12. Gideon did not drag the crowd. He refined to 300. The upper room held 120, and they turned cities upside down. Stop apologizing for small rooms. Small rooms are surgical theaters. They are the places where your gift does precise work, where names are known and follow-up is personal. Traffic cannot testify. Transformed people become trumpets. One life change with receipts will announce you louder than 10,000 curious clicks. Write this down. Don't count heads, weigh fruit. Excellence demands that you end toleration. Whatever you tolerate, you will never change. Leadership is born when toleration ends. If you tolerate lateness in yourself, you are training your gift to be ignored. If you tolerate vagueness in your team, you are subsidizing confusion. If you tolerate sloppy handoffs, you are sponsoring breakdowns. Amos asks, can two walk together unless they are agreed? Amos 3:3. Agreement is not hugging. Agreement is standards. Say it with me. Raise my standards. Raise my signal. Raise my standards. Raise my signal. Write this down. Kindness without competence is still failure. Love your client enough to be exact. Establish protocols you can inspect. A start of day checklist. Review today's promises. Confirm resources. Rehearse openings. A pre-event sequence. T 48 hours confirm attendance and outcomes. T 24 hours send materials. T 1 hour run a tech and tool check. A delivery run sheet. Agenda time to the minute. Responsibilities named. Contingencies listed. A post-delivery follow-up. Within 24 hours, send summary and next steps. Within 72 hours, capture proof through a simple form. Within 7 days, log lessons into your playbook and schedule the improvement. Define timeliness as early. All assets due 24 hours before delivery. Define responsiveness. Acknowledge queries within 1 business day with a time-bound answer. Post these in your team covenant. Inspect them weekly. Proverbs 27:23 says, be diligent to know the state of your flocks. Excellence is shepherding your standards. Why does this matter? Because standards are signals. In a noisy world, excellence is a frequency few can fake. People are drawn to what they can predict, and excellence makes outcomes predictable. Do you see a man diligent in his business? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. Proverbs 22:29. Diligence is visible. It has a smell. It arrives early, prepared, precise, and it lingers to make sure the fruit is digested. That smell is your marketing. That rhythm is your magnet. Say it with me. Excellence is my evangelist. Again, excellence is my evangelist. One more time with conviction. Excellence is my evangelist. So, covenant now. I will write my standards. I will publish my rhythms. I will rehearse in secret so I can be consistent in public. I will honor small rooms until giants rise from them. I will end toleration where fruit is bleeding out. And I will let excellence carry my name farther than my mouth ever could. Because in this kingdom, leaders don't seek followers. They set standards, keep schedules, and serve so well that fruit has only one address to advertise yours. Systems are powerful, but hear me. You can build a Rolls-Royce engine and still crawl like a donkey if you let culture hold your foot on the brake. Write this down. There is a difference between your speedometer and your speed limit. The speedometer is what the manufacturer installed. The speed limit is what your neighborhood painted. One is capacity, the other is permission. Many of you have structure and proof, but you are still driving 40 inches, a 220 machine, because somebody said, around here we don't go that fast. Let me tell you a story. Years ago I was on the German Autobahn. No speed limit. The driver looked at me. He tapped the pedal. And the numbers on that dashboard weren't theory. They were a testimony. 100, 140, 170. There was life after 170. My culture taught me to fear wind and sound. The road taught me that capacity is quiet until released. When we exited into a village with a 50 sign, it felt like punishment. Write this down. Once you taste capacity, captivity becomes intolerable. Culture paints limits on your mind. Family expectations, community ceilings, denominational traditions, colonial histories. They say be realistic. I say be original. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. Conform means press into a mold that is not yours. God said, let us make man, let them have dominion. Genesis 1:26. Write this down. You were not built to ask permission from the mold. You were designed to reveal the mold of heaven on earth. Stop asking permission to serve the gift God already commissioned. Deploy now, refine in motion. You cannot steer a parked car. Peter did not perfect walking on water on the shore. He stepped out when Jesus said, come, Matthew 14:29. Faith moves, and movement reveals methods. Let us lay aside every weight and run with endurance, Hebrews 12:1. Fear is a weight. Write this down. Leadership is born when toleration ends. End your agreement with smallness today. Say it with me. I am deployed, not employed by fear. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Fear is a terrible employer. But when you deploy, your belief system becomes the engine. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. Think like a leader. Move like a leader. Serve like a leader. Followers will discover you by the trail of fruit. Break the cap by changing the conversation you tolerate. Gideon said, my clan is the weakest and I am the least, until heaven called him mighty man of valor. Judges 6:12-15. Write this down. Your environment whispers speed limits all day. Answer with decrees. I run in the path of your commands. For you enlarge my heart, Psalm 119-32. Enlarge heart means expanded capacity. When your heart widens, your lane widens. Demand wider lanes. Ask for bigger rooms. Then prove you belong by performance. Let me give you a picture. Tasha grew up where girls were told to be quiet, finish school, and find a safe desk. But her gift was operations. She could look at a messy process and see order in minutes. One day she heard this word, deploy. She launched a weekly Fix One Flow Friday, applying her 4-step STEM to one broken workflow. In 30 days, 3 businesses reported a 35% reduction in delays. In 90, she hired help. There was life after 170. You break limits by motion, not by meetings. Meeting after meeting without deployment is coordinated fear. Move. Ask, what is the maximum fruit my gift can deliver in 7 days if I remove hesitation? Then schedule it. Publish outcomes, not opinions. Say it with me. I refuse to downshift to make insecurity comfortable. Enlarge the place of your tent. Lengthen your cords. Strengthen your stakes. Isaiah 54:2. Stretch without apology. Before we execute the 90-day plan, decide now. No more cultural caps. Not in your pricing, not in your pace, not in your platform. Keep character. Keep order, keep humility, but remove the leash. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works. Matthew 5:16. Let it shine at full wattage. No dimmers, no disguises, no delay. Write this down. The world is not threatened by your capacity. It is starved for your fruit. Leaders don't seek followers. They remove limits, deploy gifts, and let the fruit do the pulling. We have set the standards. Now we set the schedule. Leaders don't seek followers. They set rhythms that make fruit inevitable. For the next 90 days, I want you to stop waiting for permission and start serving on a clock. Write this down. Custom creates magnetism. Luke 4:16 says of Jesus, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day as was his custom. Custom is a covenant with time. Say it with me. My calendar is my covenant. Daily, you will do two things without negotiation. One, study 1 hour in your domain. Sharpen the edge before you swing the axe. If the iron is blunt and one does not sharpen the edge, he must use more strength. But wisdom helps to succeed. Ecclesiastes 10:10. Read, research, rehearse. Learn one new distinction, one case, one scripture that anchors your framework. 2, produce one unit of value. A page written, a process documented, a prototype built. A post that demonstrates fruit, not noise. James 1:22 says, be doers of the word and not hearers only. Write this down. Study feeds substance. Production reveals proof. Do not sleep until your unit is shipped. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Deploy your work daily. Set your times. Morning. 1 hour of study, highlight, summarize, and file the insight where your system can find it. Midday. Create and ship your unit of value from your framework clip from last week's teaching. A checklist you actually use today. A 2-minute voice note that solves a specific problem. Evening. Record your fruit. What outcome occurred? Who was served? What changed? So teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Psalm 90:12. Number your day with service, and wisdom will number your increase. Weekly. Establish 3 rhythms. 1. Teach your framework live. 30 minutes. Same day. Same hour. A small room is fine. I prefer it. Call 5 people. Open Zoom if you must. Go live. And daily in the temple and in every house, they did not cease teaching and preaching Jesus as the Christ. Acts 5:42. Custom breeds credibility. 2. Collect 1 case study. Every week, 1 story with receipts, problem, process, proof. Before, after, screenshots, metrics. Let another praise you and not your own mouth. Proverbs 27:2. Let your clients become your trumpet. 3. Refine 1 standard. Improve your checklist. Tighten your handoff. Clarify an expectation. Write this down. Teach publicly. Prove weekly. Improve relentlessly. Say it with me. Proof is my promotion. Monthly. Launch 1 branch of your ladder and host 1 transformation room. Branch means a runnable product from your architecture, a diagnostic, a template pack, a 90-minute workshop, a starter service with a defined outcome. Write the vision and make it plain, that he may run who reads it. Habakkuk 2:2. Make it runnable. Then host your room, 10 people, high touch, hands on their problem with your process, and leave with an outcome they can verify. Do not despise the day of small rooms, Zechariah 4:10. In those rooms, your gift becomes a blade. Outside, it becomes a trumpet. Now your scoreboard. Leaders don't count followers, they count fruit. Write this down. Measure outcomes, not applause. Metrics that matter. Problems solved. Hours saved for clients. Dollars generated or cost reduced. Error rate decreased. Turnaround time shortened. Clarity increased. Measured by plan in hand. Testimonials acquired. Case studies filed. John 15:8 says, herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit. So shall you be my disciples. Fruit, not fame. Track your daily units shipped. Weekly teachings delivered. Weekly case studies collected. Monthly branches launched. Monthly rooms completed. Track cycle time from promise to proof. Track repeat engagements. If you must look at followers, treat them as weather. Treat fruit as harvest. Document everything. Write this down. Your archive is your magnet. Date every unit of value. Tag it by problem solved. File your case studies with a title that names the transformation, not the talk. Save clips of your live teachings. Transcribe the best 3 minutes and post them with the outcome highlighted. Keep a simple fruit ledger. Client name, problem, process used, proof gathered, days to result, testimonial link. These things are written that you may believe, John 20:31. When you document, you preach without speaking. When you archive, you advertise without buying. Let me give you a 90-day arc. Days 130, foundation. Clarify your 3 promises. Launch branch 1, your diagnostic or starter toolkit. Teach, live weekly from your core framework and capture 3 proofs. Establish your daily study and ship rhythm until it feels like breathing. Days 3160, multiplication. Launch branch 2, your guided workshop or starter service. Host your first transformation room with 10 seats. Collect 8 testimonials and convert them into 3 case studies. Refine 3 standards that cause friction in month 1. Day 61, optimization and distribution. Launch branch 3, your done with you sprint or advanced template pack. Host your second transformation room. Shorten your cycle time by 20% with better handoffs. Publish your public portfolio with 12 proofs. Clip the best moments from your rooms and schedule them for daily discovery. Write this down. Month 1 builds. Month 2 proves. Month 3 optimizes and displays. I must pastor your mind while you do this. You will be tempted to stare at numbers that do not matter. You will refresh likes instead of refining standards. Resist. Galatians 6:9 says, let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Your due season is scheduled by your customs. Luke 9:62 warns, no one, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of God. For 90 days, no looking back, no begging, no chasing. Serve until they find you. Leadership is born when toleration ends. End toleration of laziness, vagueness, and vanity metrics. Start serving, specifying, and measuring fruit. I will give you a story to keep you moving. A sister named Naomi, a nurse by job, but a systems healer by gift, began this 90-day covenant. Daily, she studied 1 hour in process improvement. Daily, she shipped 1 unit, a checklist, a short lesson, a before, after of a patient flow she redesigned. Weekly, she taught 10 nurses in a small room, collected 1 case study, refined 1 standard. Month 1, she launched a shift change clarity kit. Month 2, a 2-hour chaos to calm workshop. Month 3, a 7-day ward reset sprint. She never asked anyone to follow her. By week 6, 2 hospitals called. By day 90, her public portfolio had 15 proofs, average handoff time cut by 43% in 3 wards, and a wait list for her sprint. Who chased whom? Fruit chased her. Write this down. If you bake bread daily, hungry people will locate your address without directions. Choose your start date. I recommend today. Set your daily hour. Schedule your weekly live. Put your monthly branch and room on the calendar before you design them. Let the date pull the design. Can 2 walk together except they be agreed? Amos 3:3. Agree with your calendar. Agree with your calling. Say it with me. I serve my gift. Followers will find me. Again, with resolve. I serve my gift. Followers will find me. One more time as a decree over your next 90 days. I serve my gift. Followers will find me. Because you are not an accident. You are an assignment. Vision is more important than leadership. And when assignment meets custom, fruit becomes inevitable. Now we seal it. We are not negotiating with the past anymore. We are covenanting with our future. Write this down. Vision is more important than leadership. Leadership is the engine. Vision is the destination. Engines make noise. Destinations make sense. Where there is no vision, the people cast off restraint. Proverbs 29:18. Restraint is lanes. Lanes are magnetism. Vision gives your gift a direction to pull toward, and people are drawn to movement with meaning. Say it with me. My vision leads. My gift serves. My fruit speaks. I want you to open your mouth and decree identity before activity. Repeat after me with conviction. I am not an accident. I am an assignment. Again, I am not an accident. I am an assignment. Genesis 1:26 is your birth certificate. Let us make man in our image and let them have dominion. Dominion means rulership by gift, not by titles. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Say with me. The world needs me. My gift is a solution. My fruit is my proof. Louder. The world needs me. My gift is a solution. My fruit is my proof. John 15:8 declares, herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit. Not many followers, much fruit. Write this down. Do not be impressed with power. Be committed to destination fruit that outlives you. Power can be loud and lost. Vision is quiet and compounding. Samson had power. Joseph had vision. One entertained crowds, the other fed nations. Write the vision and make it plain, that he may run who reads it. Habakkuk 2:2. Make it runnable. Put destinations on your calendar, not wishes in your head. Say it with me. Vision first. Methods follow. Here are your commissioning steps for this week. No delays, no excuses. 1. Publish your framework. Take the skeleton. You have refined these sessions, your promise, process, and proof, and post it where it can be seen and served. A one-page map. Simple, clear, runnable. If you hide your framework, you starve your future. 2. Schedule your first small room session. Put a date, a time, and a 10-seat cap on your calendar within 7 days. Titles don't change people, rooms do. Jesus went into the synagogue on the Sabbath, as was his custom. Luke 4:16. Custom creates credibility. 3. Choose one proof product, a diagnostic, a checklist pack, or a 90-minute workshop that produces a measurable outcome. Set the promise, define the standard, and commit to the delivery. Then let the fruit testify. Let another man praise you and not your own mouth. Proverbs 27:2. I want to lay hands on your mind with words. Decree this now. I stir up the gift of God within me. 2 Timothy 1:6. I deploy. I do not delay. My calendar is my covenant. My standards are my signal. My fruit is my evangelist. Again, stronger. I stir up the gift. I deploy, not delay. My calendar is my covenant. My standards are my signal. My fruit is my evangelist. You are making law in your soul. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. What you decree consistently, you become inevitably. Write this down. The future does not respond to need. It responds to seed. Your gift is a seed. Your framework is a field. Your standards are the fence. Your customs are the rain. Sow daily. Fence tightly. Water regularly. Harvest on schedule. Ephesians 2:10 affirms, we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. Prepared beforehand means your path already exists. Vision simply reveals it, and discipline walks it. Now lift your head and see beyond 90 days. Fruit that outlives you is the goal. A library of proofs, a lineage of people transformed, systems that keep serving when you are sleeping. Psalm 102:18 says, this will be written for the generation to come, that a people yet to be created may praise the Lord. Write your frameworks. Record your standards. Archive your proofs. Build so the unborn can say thank you. Say it with me. I build for legacy. I serve until they find me. I let my fruit speak and my gift lead. I commission you now not to chase, but to serve, not to shout, but to show, not to bow to crowds, but to bow to vision. Publish your framework this week. Schedule your small room today. Choose your proof product and deliver one undeniable outcome. Refuse toleration, embrace custom, guard excellence, and declare every morning, the world needs me. My gift is a solution. My fruit is my proof. May the Lord establish the work of your hands, confirm your steps, and cause your fruit to remain. Go, deploy. Let your vision pull you, let your gift serve you, and let your fruit announce you.